Remember your source and never forget. Wonder if it was just that easy. See, if it's divine, it's natural, it's easy. The more complicated things are, the further they are away from the truth of the absolute of who we are. And that's always the way you can test how complicated oh, it's this, and it's got all these fancy names, and we categorize it here. It's like, you know, you get down to where really is the cause, what's really going on here, see? Because every effect out here has a prior cause. Find the cause, eliminate the cause of the problem, the effect's going to go away. That's just how it works like that. See, when you know how it works, then you can say, oh, okay. So this sense of always remember your source and never forget would be for me, that's what I like working on and being, because I'm a pleasure seeker. I was always looking, where is the greatest happiness and pleasure? Well, first it looked like all these famous people. That looked like a pretty good deal out there. You could go have all of this and that and this and that and this and that. And that was good too. And I could be like this and that, and I could do this. Yeah, I could do all that. I got to do all these things. I go, yeah, you could do all these things, but why was I doing it? And you know, you're doing it because you thought it's going to make you happy somehow. And guarantee that happiness or something, or fulfill something. And there was an emptiness. Okay. There's a feeling, and you know, it's also the other night, and I was meditating and doing my breath work, and all of a sudden I got this feeling, and it was fear. It was the feeling of fear. It was, and it was, that's what was dreaded, was not fear. Is this feeling that would come, like of not breathing or something like this. It was like this thing, because that's showing this attachment to the skin overlay, you see. And we have our divine body. We always have that. And we are bright, and it even says in the Vedas, who we really are is brighter than 10,000 suns. But by committing acts, in a sense, that are against our true divine nature, we've separated ourselves from the divine. And to then take that power back is for us to actually remove those layers of ignorance that cause all these outer manifestations and diseases and this and that, and to be truly centered in who we are. The first thing that we need to do when we remember source is, in any action, is this the pleasure of the divine? That means, are all living entities happy? Do they all get to live out their lives? And they are life themselves. So there is no death. And there is no birth in that sense of what we have been experiencing with the cloak or the garment, covering our light. And so therefore then our light then is contained, because it's not we are light, we emanate light, is then manifesting, expressing the reality through our minds. And we have been agreeing. So when we really remember source and never forget, we remember that each of you and I are already brothers and sisters. You and I and the animals, all brothers and sisters. And we are the caretakers of the wealth, of the garden, where we get to play and be together in harmony. Say, well, that's not natural in nature. Well, actually it really is. But because our consciousness has been in focusing our light, our knowledge, our consciousness, our awareness on to violence, killing. And if you start looking, it's everywhere. Stores, everything, killing. Everything, killing. Start to look at that. And again, we've been agreeing and we're part of that. So where would we even think that the divine supreme beings, divine supreme creator would create with love, and so much love, and then have everybody want to kill and eat each other? Animals, humans and animals, blood, all this. Well, what, really? Well, said it's okay, God said it's okay. I didn't do all this. Really? Who's God? What God? What are you talking about? This is common sense. Yeah. And we don't change the past, because past and future are just words. It's all that is now, and how we are now. So when I remember my source and never forget, then in each action I do, am I honoring source? And that means you and all the animals. And then we're not, I can take that out of my world and purify my body. I've cleaned my liver 35 times with that amazing liver and gallbladder flush. You would have believed, because the body had all the animals I'd eaten, all the bad oils, all of the alcohol, all of the synthetics, foods, all of this flush it through the liver. I know. And when you take charge of your own consciousness as well as also your physical well-being, if we're operating in a way that's in harmony with source, that means you and I, whatever I do empowers you, and whatever you do empowers me and empowers the animals. And then people say, yeah, but the animals, they kill each other. They didn't used to. See, all is consciousness. And what happens is, when we tend to believe appearances as truth, we have to look at appearances, our appearances of realities that are, what would you say? That are, I don't have any words for it, just what they are. So when I think of source, my beloved within, how would I want to be treated or cared for by others? So how would then I treat others the way I would like to be cared for? That means, to be at least kind and nice. That's really nice. And we can be really who we are, where it feels good inside. And if it feels good for someone or whatever, when others suffer, that may be a different species. There's more and more talk about that we just never noticed. Why? Because we've been so trusting. Yeah. But we've been participating in that by believing our thoughts and the thoughts and the words of others. where we have a barometer, and that's always with ourselves, with our beloved, our source. And we always know right from wrong, good from evil. And not that we're playing the duality of I choose this and I'll fight against that. No, no, we're going to the absolute goodness. We don't have a battle. There's no sides. You see. So when you remember Source, you remember yourself. Yeah. And then it's easy in every moment. Honor yourself. And then you honor all. Okay.